still for him to be held accountable and that he didn't get away with it, especially for somebody so high profile, that like, yeah, if it did slide under the rug, that would be very disappointing, especially after the whole Epstein, situation over the summer.
Right.
But yeah,
that's in future month. We're going to get on Epstein too.
Right. So I'm glad you picked that one. So then mine's going to be that the movie Parasite sweeps the Oscars, right? So Bong Joon-ho's took home the most awards for the Oscars this year on February 9th for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, Best International Film. And yeah, so at the time in the States, like, right.
Carry on.
Right. At the time in the States, like we were kind of sort of aware of COVID, like people that are especially concerned or considerate of those things may have been wearing masks or being more careful, or, like I think that we started to have some like wash your hand, promotions and stuff like that, but it wasn't like that big a deal in the US just yet. So for that to be like, kind of a predictive programming, kind of like laying the scene of what's to come. I haven't seen the movie, but to be honest, but
now I'll tell you this,
that's interesting.
Because of the COVID thing was known in January. I do remember because Audrey had her heart surgery in early March. So we were doing pre-op between January and March. So little by little, while going to the hospital, protocol was changing. Now during flu season, you always have to wear a mask, especially when you're in a high risk area like the cardiology center where we are. But little by little, it wasn't just wear a mask. It was you have to switch your masks now. And then we left right before, literally the day of or the day before the lockdown. We were discharged.
Oh wow!
We didn't experience the one person at a time in the hospital room. We didn't have any of that. But we did. I did gradually see the changes that were happening inside the hospital already. The tables were already set up for the temperature checks and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it was cool, or not cool. It was interesting to see that from that side. That. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, and you're right. I think Parasite was a huge introduction to what literally actually happened to us. Yeah. Just only in words alone. I think I do. Excuse me. I do heavily believe that the words in our society have a big play on how we are conditioned to think.
Right.
And the more we hear certain words, the more we play on those words. There's another movie called Pontypool that literally uses words as a disease that makes people go nuts. It's very interesting.
Oh, wow.
If you haven't seen it yet, I very, very highly recommend it. It's very interesting. The power of words. So yeah, good pick. Good pick. March, you want to do March?
Okay, so let's see. There's several, but I'll go with I'm curious what you picked. Okay, well, I'll do it the stock market crash. So on March 9th, we had the Dow Jones suffered the worst single day drop, and it lost over 2,000 points, and which was 7.8%, and the NASDAQ dropped 7.3%. So already we were slipping into, a recession from the effects and triggerings of COVID.
This is a direct effect to Trump's travel ban to China. This was directly correlated, which caused an uproar on the left. How dare he do this? It's racist. It's this and that. And it turns out that's exactly what's happening now. I mean, I don't remember. I can't really remember what side I was on personally back then, because I didn't see it as something that was going to be forthcoming the way it was. You know what I mean? Oh, pandemic, like the Ebola thing. Remember when Ebola was like, oh shoot, but then we were like, oh, all right.
Or bird flu or whatever. Like, it's a thing we do.
Right. So, yeah. The stock market crash out. That was, how quick was that though? Like it was hours after the travel ban.
Right.
Yeah. Crazy. Nuts. Yeah. Did you have more on that one?
No,
I know very little about that except for that.
No.
It was
no, we won't elaborate too much in each one because then we'll be at this for hours. But what's yours for March?
For me, it's an easy one. It was the first mandated lockdowns, which happened the 13th.
Okay.
Again, going back to what I said, it was literally the day before or after we were discharged, one or the other, but either way, all I remember is coming home, and my sisters and my mom were freaking out and buying me all kinds of toilet paper and all kinds of food and all kinds of stuff because we weren't supposed to go anywhere, and Audrey was post-op, you know, so we had no idea what was going on. Everybody was freaking out over this airborne virus that you know, we were just freaking out. The toilet paper shortage was happening. I had no clue that was going on because I was stuck in the hospital room with Audrey. So, you know, when I came out, I literally came out to a different world of people panicking, you know, panicking in my eyes. It's like, whoa, what is going on? My sister sending me videos of empty shelves and stuff. Like, you know, what is going on out there? Like, and I'm still going to the cafeteria eating food, and I'm perfectly fine, you know, with everything that's going on out there. It's almost like when it's the summertime. And it's really hot, and everybody's coming in sweating when I'm in the hospital with my daughter anyway. So I'm in there in a sweater, you know, in a coat, and everybody's coming in like, oh, it's hot out there. I have no clue. You really, it's like the hospital's an entire different world. Nothing from the outside gets in, and vice versa. So I was shocked.
It's like a bubble.
I was extremely shocked to see and hear what was going on. So the lockdowns was huge for me because I didn't see it coming. I literally didn't see it coming. So yeah.
Yeah, it was so funny because I was at Disneyland like just days before that, like 2 days before they announced the lockdowns, I think on the 13th, and then it like went into effect officially on the 15th. But yeah, we happened to be at Disneyland, and somebody said, "Do you think they'll shut down Disneyland?" I said, "They would never. Think of the money."
See what you did?
See what I did?
See what you did? That's the one thing. It's so crazy. How spoiled we are because I miss Disneyland. Like, how is that even a thing to like be sad about? I miss
Disneyland.
Isn't that so gratitude to say?
We're in SoCal though, you guys, so it's different here.
Right. The smells, the music. I told you I put on the Main Street. So I can hear the ambiance and like, oh my God. I put on Pirates just so I can hear Pirates. Like, what's going on, man? You know, but yeah, Disneyland's important. Disneyland's important here. Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, so that's when like, the businesses started shutting down, and it was like very clear the divide of the essential workers and the non-essential ones. It was like our classism began.
That's right. Yeah. We're still there, by the way.
Yeah. That was 2 weeks to stop the spread, by the way. 2 weeks is what we agreed to. See, give them an inch.
Right, they think they're a ruler. Okay,
that was my first time hearing that live.
Nice. Yeah, good for me. I'm here all night.
In case you haven't followed her Twitter yet, she comedies. Okay, so
I do comede.
go follow.
I comede sometimes.
You're here. Go there. Finish this though. Okay.
These one first.
Okay.
April.
So,
okay, April, go.
Then April happened. Oh wait, and the other thing that happened in March though, real quick, was Breonna Taylor though on the 13th.
Oh,
so
no kidding.
That wasn't like huge yet, but you know, obviously it came to the forefront shortly after.
I did it come to the forefront because of George Floyd though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Spoilers. No.
Oh, sorry.
So for April, I didn't get much on April. It's a little bit blurred, but so my thing was the Kim Jong-un death rumors.
That's mine.
Right? Okay.
That's a fun one.
Right?
Go.
Right. So like he was rumored, it was suspicious because he on April 15th he missed some events that were commemorating his grandfather, and so people were suspicious, like, where's the guy at? This is a very important thing. There's no way he wouldn't be here. And then his sister, I believe, started doing more appearances and running more meetings or something. I don't know too much of the details, but surprised leading into May that 20 days later he reemerged at a ribbon cutting.
Out of nowhere. From decrepit and gravely ill to just, here I am, hi. No way, man. Like, who just starts those rumors like that? You know what I mean? Was it a COVID scare for North Korea? I wonder.
We JKs. Some people suspect that he was trying to like weed out, you know, any rats or something in his administration or whatever. So that if you like pretend that you're dead, you see who kind of like takes the opportunity of it and tries to step forward with what and what. So I don't know too much of the logistics, but I hear there was some firings and such. There's movement in the process of that.
It was an interesting one for sure. Like, what's going on over there? Yeah, and then he came right back. Yeah, it's just you know, and technology being what it is and cloning being what it is, I don't know, but you know, I can't imagine. It's just a weird one. It just sounds like a Disney plot,
right?
You know, so I don't know, but yeah, that was a good one. That's a good choice.
That's a good one, right?
We're done with April because I'm sorry, I couldn't find anything, but I also didn't want to. That was too good.
Let's focus on this. I haven't pulled up my like overall list for the months yet, but I feel like we're spending a lot on each one still.
Right. Okay, so May, the elephant in the room. You know, we're going to go George Floyd. I imagine that was going to be a big story for you. That's a tough one. That's a tough one because this movement was a positive, prominent one. This unfortunate event turned it around for a lot of people. It made it more of an extremist event of fascism as opposed to one that was to promote peace. I want you to elaborate more on it because as you know, I came back to a completely different place during these months of the George Floyd events. I didn't experience it the same way that a lot of people did. But it blew me away to come back home and to see things boarded up the way they were and to watch people be angry with each other even more so on the internet and off the internet. That was huge for me. And I don't know how many times me and you had to actually sit and have therapy sessions as to what happened, you know, while I was gone. What happened? You know, so yeah, please do me a favor because I want to hear it from you. The civil unrest of that month and the months beyond and what's going on now, it doesn't seem like there's an end to it. Seems like it's dissipated a little bit because we're distracted by this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't seem like there's going to be an end. It actually kind of seems like there's going to be an implosion of more soon enough. But
it's been kind of like elevated to like a fixture in our society now, and to I guess like you said, like the BLM movement, it has like the vision or whatever of it. We're not saying that like we're not saying all lives matter or anything like that, but
well, I am, because logically all lives do matter.
Right. But you know, to like take that,
but it's
that like
that
quote or something.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I mean.
But yeah, that's the cognitive dissonance that they trigger. That like you're a racist if you say all lives matter. Right. But like, isn't that the human default to believe? Like, of course, all lives matter. But of course, not to say that there aren't racist people either, you know, and not to say that people aren't targeted in certain instances.
Right.
So in May, and also just to give like some reference, I don't have like a regular TV. I'm not watching the news. So basically when I get headlines, it's from whatever was prominent enough that it went viral, that, you know, all the little niche places that I follow on social media, or, you know, that would pop up in Google searches or something as the highlights. So with the George Floyd thing, at the time, Biden was kind of like the head runner for the Democratic candidate, right? Kamala had like accused him of and like sided with all the Me Too accusations against him. Like there was a lot trudging against him, but you could tell that of course he was still their forerunner. And yeah, he interviewed on the Breakfast Club and ended it with, they gave him like a second to do his like last little elevator pitch and wrap it up. And he took the time to say, if you